Hey guys, it's John. Right, Scott at the Rock Scout, and also checked out Metal Mickey's video. There's a thread going around for 5 middle of the road albums. Not the I'm doing some of my favourite artists as well. There was artists there that the others had done that I thought, no, I can't really tread on their toes, so I've just pulled out some others, and there's 2 albums here by one artist, and I couldn't really work out which one I preferred the best. So I'm going to show both, and then if you want to comment below, I will which one you think is the better one. But the others definitely are middle of the road albums. One's very much borderline on the lower end of the middle of the road, more like down the middle of the lane, or on the M25, I suppose, which I hear is probably one of the worst roads to be stuck on in the UK. So right, here we go. First one, middle of the road. This is definitely not the worst Megadeth album, but it's definitely not the best. And but it is borderline. It's more middle of the road, going downhill slightly. And it is Megadeth's The World Needs a Hero. I love Disconnect. The World Needs a Hero is average. Motorpsycho, very average, but quite poor. And then it's all crap until you get to Dread and the Fugitive Mind, which is a great song, awesome song. Return to Hangar is great. Follow on to Hangar 18. And this last song, which is 9 minutes 13, called When. I love that song. I don't know if anybody else loves it, but yeah, very dark. But yeah, 2001, The World Needs a Hero. That would be middle of the road, going downhill slightly, but not the worst Megadeth album. So yeah, that's that one. That used to actually be my least favourite, to be quite honest. But here we go for the next album. Definitely not the best, definitely not the worst. By W.a.s.p. And this album is Still Not Black Enough. This is my original digipack from 1995. It's very beaten up. It's used to come out in the car a lot when I was in my late teens then. So yeah, this has got Keep Holding On, Breathe, I Can't, Black Forever, Somebody to Love. There's quite a few songs on here that are not really that great for W.a.s.p. I really find this, up until when Kill Fuck Die came out, this literally was the worst album they brought out. And then it got better when they brought out Eldorado, because that is technically to me the worst W.a.s.p. album going. So yeah, this is middle of the road, definitely downhill. A steep downhill, but middle of the road. I can still pick this up and listen to it and enjoy it, but it's not one I'd pick up. There's loads of others before this, so I'd pick up. Next one is I couldn't decide with this either. This was this is by Queensryche. I bought this back when it came out. I liked it a bit, or quite a bit, when it came out, and I did get into it then. But now I'm like, it's a completely different turn to what they are known for from the 80s and the early 90s. This is 1997's Here in the Now Frontier, which has got, 14 tracks on the original album. It's a bit more grungier. This is when it started going downhill for Queensryche, for sure. There's a few good songs on here, but it's not spectacular, let's put it that way. Hit the Black is a very cool song on here. Some People Fly. But yeah, there's just not enough on here, and it's no way near the album before, which was Promised Land. So yeah, that's middle of the road for me, sort of staying there with a little bit of a dip downwards, that is. This album, so we're on to number 4 album, is by Europe. This is an album I've mentioned before that I really cannot get into so much. There's a few songs on here that are pretty good, but I just cannot get into it. And the album that comes below this and is my right at the bottom of the pile, really don't like it. Listened to it loads of times and just cannot get into it, and that was Bag of Bones. But this album is Secret Society, and yeah, this is it has got some good songs on it, but nothing that makes me want to go out. And if I'd heard this album before I bought it, I probably wouldn't have bought it to actually listen to. I probably would have just bought it to put in the collection to complete it. There's, Always the Pretenders. I just couldn't get into that song. Forever Travelling, that's another one. What's the Devil Sings the Blues? Yeah, that would be yeah, it just does not do it for me. 2006. This is the one that came out after Start From the Dark. Start From the Dark was 50 times better than this, so yeah, there we go, Secret Society. I actually thought the cover was a bit weird as well, so same with the Queensryche one, that was definitely a weird cover. And the last band, I'm struggling with this because these are both probably Judas Priest albums. I wouldn't say I hate them. I actually like these albums, but everything that came before or after has been far superior. So these are unfortunately at the bottom of the pile. And I can only think of one album by Queensryche not Queensryche, by Judas Priest, that would be worse than these. And even that album is great, and I struggled. This is just because one of the albums is with Tim Ripper Owens that I get a bit sick and tired of, apart from a couple of songs. And then this one, these two are Rob Halford, and one is Point of Entry, and the other one is Ram It Down. Now, you know, this is probably going to be the worst one with Rob Halford, but I still actually like it. Yeah, it's got that horrible song on here, Johnny Be Good, which I can't stand. But to be quite honest, right, if I go through the track listing, Ram It Down I love, Come and Get It I love, Blood Red Skies is the masterpiece on here for sure. I love that song hugely. Monsters of Rock I don't care too much for. Love You to Death is great. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I'm a Rocker is awesome. That is a killer song. So I've lost count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 great songs on here that I love. And that's out of 1, 2, 3. So there's 10 songs in here. 5 of them are great. So yeah, middle of the road. And this one, Heading Out to the Highway, is amazing. Desert Plains is amazing. Solar Angels is amazing. And that's only 3. So technically, I prefer this album over Point of Entry. But I still, Heading Out to the Highway is just a killer song, and that makes up, well, so is Desert Plains. They're just killer songs, make up for the rest of this album. But to be quite honest, this is probably my least favourite whole album, whereas that is actually, I can listen to 5 of them tracks. I know I've got to skip a couple, but I would say that this is technically an album where a lot of people don't really like it, but I love the cover, and I love more songs on it than this one. So this is the worst Rob Halford. Actually, no, Rock and Roller is the worst Rob Halford one. That one's the next one up for me. This one, yeah, it's going to be middle of the road for me. So there you go. That's my 5. And people should give that more of a chance. Yes, Johnny Be Good, total and utter shite. But yeah. The others really do bring it up. But that song, I'm a Rocker, is just like metal as. So yeah, people should give Ram It Down more of a chance. Because I'm sure people will probably find that better than Turbo, and that's controversial. But yeah, so there we go. My 5. So see you later. Keep rocking.